Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Travel Talk. I am so excited to be back. It's been a couple of weeks. I was out traveling with one of our amazing groups in Peru. We did the Salcantay Trek, and just a little shout out to that group before I get started. I had an amazing time, and I am pretty sure everybody else did too. So, with that being said, I'm super happy to be back in action with Travel Talk. And today, for the first Travel Talk back, I thought it would be a great idea to just do a little bit of a refresher, who we are at Women's Travel Club, what we encompass, and kind of some frequently asked questions. And I'm joined by Marianne today, our CEO, and I'm going to bring her onto the screen. We've got a great presentation, and let's say hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, very excited to be back. Thank you for being here and giving us this, general introduction to WTC for those who might just be joining us for the first time, or even for those who have been with us for a little bit. It's always nice to, have a face-to-face answering of any frequently asked questions and general overview things. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to this. This is definitely a topic that's easy for me to talk about because it's kind of like what I live and breathe as the Women's Travel Club. So
it's your bread and butter. It's your daily life.
yes.
I'm going to pull up your presentation on the stage here, and then we can get things going. But before I do that, I just want to urge anybody watching, if you have any questions, if you have any comments throughout the presentation, please feel free to throw them into the comments. I'll definitely be monitoring that, and we'd love to, engage with you guys and answer anything you guys might be wondering. So with that being said, here we go. So welcome. Welcome to the Women's Travel Club.
Okay.
You have full access, Marianne, to go forwards, backwards, whatever you need to do.
Excellent. So like Ali said, this is going to be just kind of an overview of everything about the Women's Travel Club, who we are, where we came from, who travels with us, and a bit about the tours that we have for you. So if you've never traveled with us, this is a great opportunity to just learn about us and learn who we are and who are our members. And if you have traveled with us, it's a little bit of what's kind of coming up and what's new. And maybe there's a few things you didn't know about us. So kind of where we started, we originally started back in 2012. Our first tour that we ever had was to Ireland, in case anybody was curious about that.
I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
So it was. So we do women-only tours. We exclusively do women-only tours. We don't do any mixed tours. All our tours, you can be sure once you see a tour on our website, it is for women only. We also do have a team of travel advisors. So if you have a trip you want to do yourself, or if you have your own group you want to do a trip for, and maybe it is a mixed group, but it's going to be your own private group, we can help you with that. We have great connections all over the world. So any particular destination that you're looking for, we have somebody that specializes in that and can definitely help you set up your own private travel. But that is kind of separate from the tours that the Women's Travel Club offers. Our tours are all hosted tours, so that is like having your own concierge on the tour. They're there just to look after everything runs smoothly. If there's any questions, any problems, they're there to step in and just fix things on the ground and make sure everything runs perfectly for your tour. They are separate from a tour guide. So your tours will always have an English-speaking tour guide. The tour host is separate from that and additional. The only exception to the tour host would be our essential tours, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But the essential tours do always have your English speaking tour guide and tour manager on the tour with you. So they do have someone looking after you and showing you around.
There's lots of layers to make sure that all members are taken care of adequately, from logistical issues to even, injuries, anything like that. There's always going to be somebody there to help you.
And the main point with the Women's Travel Club. So when I founded the Women's Travel Club, I was a travel agent. I was working at a travel agency, did a lot of kind of all-inclusives, cruises, all just your regular travel. But what I knew was that there was a large number of women that wanted to travel, especially when they're getting close to retirement age, that kind of 50 and above. They had the time to travel, they had the desire, they had places they wanted to go. What they didn't always have was somebody to travel with. And it also spoke to the kind of travel that really interested me. And that was going to destinations and experiencing and learning about specific destinations. So really travel as opposed to just like a vacation to an all-inclusive. So that it was a little different. And I knew that there would be a way to connect these women. And that's where the name comes from, Women's Travel Club. It's all about connecting and fostering these friendships that the women on the tours can make. And then once you've met friends, you're going to have friends that will travel with you for forever. And it could be another Women's Travel Club trip, it could be your own travels. So we have so many women that have become very good friends. Often it's from roommate matching. So we do match roommates. If you're coming as a solo traveler and you want to take advantage of the double occupancy rate, we will match you with another woman that wants the same. And often these friendships come from these matched up roommates, and they continue. They take other tours together. They travel together outside of the Women's Travel Club and visit each other if they're not in the same city. So is really a great way to find your travel tribe and to make some great friends. And the other key component to our tours is that we specialize in some unique travel experiences. Going past just sitting on a bus and looking out a window and seeing the destination go by, we really believe in immersing our members in the destination so that you're meeting local people, you're taking part in the cuisine, you're taking part in crafts and things that make that destination what it is. You're learning about it and getting some hands-on for it.
I always like to say it's extremely culturally immersive. We want to soak you in the culture, and you're going to get more out of going than you would just, driving around and seeing the sights. You're going to take something home with you, whether that be knowledge or a newfound love for the country. I think that's where that unique experience comes into play with us, if I'm correct.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
So this is our team here at the Women's Travel Club. So we have a pretty good sized team, which it's nice because we have a lot of people that are in the background to make sure everything kind of runs smoothly for you. We're not a huge corporate tour company, so there's big tour companies out there that are huge and layered, and then you're a little bit lost. We're small enough that we can kind of know our members and get to know everybody, but big enough that we have enough of a team to always have somebody to make sure everything's running really well for you. So this is most of our team here. You can see myself and Allie, Brittany, who you might have just seen in the background, just left. Irene, who's now looking after cruises. Many of our members members that have been around for a while, we've remembered when Irene was doing Allie's job of we're answering the phone and helping our members with any questions or queries they might have. Irene's now moved into solely looking after cruises for us. Kim, who's our guest experience manager, and Julie's our flight specialist. Jackie's on the marketing team. She's the one that puts together the newsletter that you get every week. And Owen, who's does our social media. So just to give you a little bit of who we are.
It's nice to put faces to names, especially for someone like myself who talks with a lot of our members through email, live chat, phone calls. I think the first time I've actually seen members face to face was when I hosted the tour in Peru. So it's must be nice to know who's who here. For sure.
So besides that, we also have some affiliations, and these affiliations really, again, add to what we can offer. So our first one is that we are part of the Travello Travel Group, and they are kind of a company that, as we're a member with them, it enhances our ability to have kind of buying power. So we can get extras for our clients, especially when it comes to things like cruises. It just increases our insurance ability, and just kind of a lot of the background logistics might not make a lot of difference to our members, but allows us to do things that we couldn't do without being part of a much bigger corporation. Virtuoso, they are, again, especially in cruises, but in a lot of other areas, they, being part of Virtuoso, gives us added amenities for our clients as they're traveling on different tours. So especially you'll see it in cruises with additional shipboard credits and things like that. And TICO is the Travel Industry Council of Ontario. And what they are is a client protection organization. So, being that we are in Ontario, we have to be licensed by TICO. And this is a really good added benefit for our clients because they are solely there to protect clients. And everybody that works for us has to be licensed by TICO. They have to write an exam. They have to understand the laws and the rules, especially in Ontario, which has some of the strictest laws and rules of anywhere when it comes to travel. And they also run a compensation fund for clients. So if we sell into something that, say, goes bankrupt, some company that we're a cruise line, or a lot of times this can do with flights, or any kind of company that we've sold into and say we've paid for, they go bankrupt, the compensation fund will step in and refund our clients. So it is a good layer of protection for anybody that travels with us that we are licensed by TICO. So
Awesome.
you might wonder what the members of the Women's Travel Club are like. What are the other women that travel with us like? Well, most are from North America. We do have a few from other countries, but very few. We've had Australia, the UK, some of the Caribbean islands, but majority of the women that travel with us are from Canada and the US, but definitely spread all over Canada and the US. Typically, the women that travel with us are between 50 and 75 years old. We do get younger and older on many of our tours, almost all of them. But the core women are going to be 50 to 75. Usually younger women would be more on an active type of tour, and older than the 75 would be more on some of our less active, like maybe some of our river cruises and things like that. But that's not to say we won't have a 45-year-old on a river cruise too. Um, let's see. And 60% join as solo travelers. So that means that about 60% of the women that join our tours don't know anyone else on the tour. They're coming just solely by themselves and hoping to meet and make friends, which they will. For the other 40% are either women that are coming with a friend, or they might be coming with like a sister or somebody that they already know. So they're coming together as a couple, or sometimes 3 or 4 friends together. And interestingly enough, 35% of the women that travel with us are married. And their husband either doesn't want to go to that destination, is working, can't travel at that time. So they are going by themselves with the women's group. Our tours are literally all over the world. We have tours usually every year to all 7 continents. So we are touching a little bit of everywhere and every kind of tour you could think of. So this is a picture from our website to give you an idea of when you're looking at it, because we do have a fair number of tours, and you probably want to narrow down something that interests you. So there's a few ways you can do that. One is you can click on, and this is on the homepage and also on the tour pages. If you click down the destination, there'll drop this box either below or above, depending on your device, and you can scroll through and look for a destination that interests you. Click on that and just click on search, and that'll take you to tours that just have that destination in them. Some of the destinations are by country. It also does by region. So, say you want something in Africa, but you're not specific, you can just go to Africa. You can also look up some of the cities for our short getaways. So, say you really want to see New Orleans, you can just search by New Orleans. So, as you look through, you'll see kind of different things. So, it's not just the country, it can be bigger with kind of regions, or it could be smaller with cities too. Um, the other option is you can search by time frames. So you can put in, if you want to go from November 2024 to February 2025, sometime in there, you want to get away for the winter, you can put that in and search and see all the tours that fall into that time period. There's also drop downs at the top for types of tours or levels of tours that you can further narrow down exactly what you're looking for.
There's also the little live chat button that I monitor throughout the day. So if anybody has questions or needs suggestions, or needs help navigating the website, you're more than welcome to utilize that button. I love talking to people, and I would love to chat with you guys. So if you have any issues, definitely utilize that little green button in that bottom right hand corner. And I can be there to help you. We also have other people monitoring, but it's mostly me.
So I think, yeah, I'm not sure if you can see. I'm trying to
Oh,
I don't know if they can see it, but if
yeah,
you can see my
they
little cursor bouncing around, that is where the live chat is. And you can
yes.
click on it and chat away to Allie. You can just ask her, say hi. How are
Just
you
talk.
doing? I'm on the website looking around. She
I
loves
appreciate it.
just tag people.
Yeah, honestly.
um, so the tour type, you can go down and we can go through some of the different types of tours that we have. So our first and probably our largest category of tours is our sightseeing tours. Most of our tours are going to fall in this category. It's pretty um, kind of like a big open category, because most tours you are sightseeing. Um, and maybe it's a category that everything, it doesn't pigeonhole into anything else, so it ends up in sightseeing. But sightseeing tours and it's going to be everywhere. So you can see here a few examples of some of the tours that we have coming up in 2025. We have a Hawaii tour that visits not all, visits 4 islands with interior flights between them, staying in beautiful resort hotels along the way. So it's a great, if you've never been to the Hawaiian Islands, it's a great overview of the islands, spending that kind of 2-3 nights on each island and really learning a bit about each of those 4 islands. We also have a picture from Bali here. So a great Bali tour that we do almost every year. So if you've never been to Bali, it's a wonderful opportunity to see this beautiful destination. Stays in 3 different hotels. So you're not moving from hotel to hotel. You're getting a really nice chunk of time at each hotel to kind of experience that area and spend some time in the little towns and learn a bit about Bali. We have a Venice and the Lakes tour, which does Venice and kind of lakes region and even gets over to Cinque Terre. So it's a great kind of look at that kind of not really northern, but kind of upper mid Italy area. We have Egypt tour that includes a really nice Nile cruise.
Seeing those wonders of the world,
Yeah. This is a picture from Switzerland. So we have a Switzerland by rail tour that is filling up pretty quickly, but we do have a few spots left on that. That's a Morocco tour. We do Morocco almost every year also. It's a very popular tour. Morocco is amazing. It's so very diverse. So one day you're in the red Sahara Desert, and truly no country in the world has desert like Morocco. It's just that beautiful deep red sand dunes. And then another day you're in the Atlas Mountains, and then you're in a seaside village. So Morocco really is a destination that is surprising when you get there for what you can see. Turkey, which is a great land tour of Turkey. And then we also have Turkey and Greece private yacht experience that's very small group that follows the Turkey tour, so you can add one on to the other if you wish. And we have the last picture here is from Argentina and Chile, which also goes out to Easter Island. Cruises. We do a lot of cruises at the Women's Travel Club.
And different types of cruises. I didn't when you hear cruises, everybody automatically goes to the big boats and things like that. And then until I started working here, I'm like, oh, there's so many different ways to cruise.
Yeah. So we do ocean cruises. Most of our ocean cruises are going to be on smaller ships. So we're not putting you on one of those ships that has, 2,000, 3,000 people on it. We use Windstar a lot, which has usually less than 200 people on the ship. I've cruised Windstar quite a few times, and usually less than 150 people on the ship. So you're really personalized service on that. We do expedition cruises. So that's going to be like Antarctic and Arctic type of cruises, and some other expedition cruises along the way. River cruises are very big for us. We do probably 4, maybe 5 different types of river cruises in a year. Usually a staple every year is going to be the Tulip Time River Cruise out of Amsterdam in typically April, to see the tulips budding, and also the Christmas Markets River Cruise in December. are very, very popular and pretty much a staple every year. And then we add in a few other river cruises along the way. We did Portugal this year. I think it's coming back for next year, which is very popular. We've just for 2026 opened up Colombia, which is a brand new cruise for Amma Waterways, and going to be kind of the next new hot place to go. Not just like hot in temperature, but hot and kind of cool.
Popular.
Yeah, yeah. We do have the Mekong in Asia as a river cruise, so a great selection of river cruises. We also do small boat charters. So these are going to be where it's just the Women's Travel Club on the ship. It's very kind of an intimate, very personalized, high-end experience. We do this in places like the Galapagos we have coming up for 2025. So we have a beautiful luxury catamaran that will take you and your 10 new best friends
Soon to be closest buddies in the world.
all around the Galapagos Islands. What I've done this on this catamaran, and the one takeaway that everybody had from it, besides that it was the Galapagos and it's amazing, was that the cabins were really big. We did not expect that size of a cabin on a small boat, and especially something just private for us. So that was a big takeaway. um we do river barge. So as opposed to the larger um river cruises that you see throughout Europe, the smaller barges will only have maybe 12 cabins on them. And it's again a very personalized experience. You have a chef on board. The food is absolutely outstanding. All your drinks are included. There's a hot tub on board. It is just an amazing, really personalized way to visit Europe in different areas. And the one that we've got coming up in 2026 is for Burgundy, which I did a couple years ago, and it was like such a great experience. Loved it. Um,
Marianne will vet as many tours as she can to try to make sure they are the best ones. Cream of the crop.
and the other one that we have is the Turkey and Greece I mentioned before. So that's a Turkish gullet. Again, 10 cabins, just small, very personalized, and chef on board making some great, great meals. Your wine and beers all included, and you have daily stops in places. And what's beautiful about the gullet in Greece, the area it's in which is that turquoise coast, which kind of runs between Greece and Turkey. The water there is the bluest and clearest I've seen anywhere. It's like comparable to maybe what you'd see in Bora Bora, with just that water that you can just see right down and through. So you can, you know, once they dock, or they don't dock, once they set anchor with the gullet, you can just jump off and swim, and they've got water toys, and it's, if you're a water person, is an amazing experience. Safari. A safari is probably what one of the things we're best known for. Um, I didn't realize that until talking to some, actually a tour host from another women's tour company in the States. And they said, "Oh, yeah, you're really well known for like exotics and safari." And I was like, "Oh, I thought we did a little bit of everything," which we do, but
We
kind of
love
really,
safaris.
really known for this. And we go outside of Africa too with our safari experiences. So definitely within Africa, we're going to do all of Southern Africa. We're going to do Eastern Africa. We do gorilla trekking. We have a great knowledge of all the countries, and logistics of the countries. to experience in Africa and do safari in Africa. Um, Outside of Africa, we also go to Borneo, which is probably one of my favorite places in the whole world. It's it's different. It's like stepping back in time, and the animals there are so unique and endemic to Borneo. So, like the orangutan and the proboscis monkey, and animals you aren't going to see anywhere else.
The
Um,
sun bear. I remember the
the
sun bear.
sun bear, yeah, yeah.
We
Pink.
did just do that travel talk for those who don't know. If you're interested in Borneo, Marianne gave a great presentation on the previous tour, and yeah, it seems like that it's such a unique destination where you're not going to find anything else like that anywhere. So
Yeah,
that's what I've gathered, at least.
yeah. Um, then also Galapagos, which we touched on, which just for the wildlife there, it's right there. It doesn't You don't have to look for it, you can't miss it, you have to step around it. It's right there.
Yeah, they'll approach you. I think that we have one of our advisors in the Galapagos right now, and she says that she finds the animals are just curious about the humans, and they want to approach you. So if you're a
Yeah.
wildlife lover, that's a great destination to start.
Oh, when I was in the Galapagos with one of our women that travels with us quite a bit, and she loves animals. She's just loves, like, and she'll stop every dog, everything that she can touch or pet, and she's all about it. And we're on a beach, and there is a little wee baby seal. It's got to be, less than a week old. It's just tiny, and it is attracted to her, and it keeps coming up, and it's like kind of scurrying along and coming to her, and making his little like seal noises at her, and she's like and took every ounce of her being not to reach down and just pick it up, and the tour guide's going, just step back, just step back, and she's like, no, I don't want to step back.
I want to love him. Let me
It was
love
like,
him.
it was so, yeah. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
um
That's an interesting destination for sure. Definitely
oh,
bucket list for me.
yeah. And then we have the Amazon, which is a little harder to see animals. There's certain things you will see that you won't see anywhere else, like the pink dolphins, and certainly a lot of birds and wildlife. And if you're really, really lucky, you might see a jaguar, but very hard. Um,
Well, you will see cats. Well, we're hiking through Peru. We saw a little black cat, and I kid you not, our guide went, "Look, it's a baby panther." And me, who thought the dog was a horse on the picture of the computer the other day, went, "Oh, where's the baby panther?" And everybody laughed at me. I was the joke. But I mean, I got excited. It's wildlife. Like, I wanted to see the baby panther.
Um, and new for 2026, we have a snow leopard expedition coming up. So it's this guy down here. So we also have a selection of active tours. Oh, I think the one slide didn't get changed. The one picture. And so we don't have a ton. We probably have maybe 4 or 5 on the website right now. But these are going to be things like, we do have the Camino Trail, which I just came back from about a week ago, and so kind of previewed this tour hiking the Camino Trail, which was absolutely amazing. Um, and then we have a Dolomites hiking and trekking. We have the Nordic North and the Yukon both have kind of winter activities, active activities in it. We have a couple different wellness kind of spa trips. So we have Body Holiday in St. Lucia, which has spa but also has a lot of kind of wellness activities, definitely classes, and
Yoga.
things like yoga. Yeah. a little bit of everything. And same with Miraval Spa Resort in Arizona coming up in 2026.
I've got Vicky here saying from Facebook that the Camino is a bucket list trip for her. And
Well, you should
yeah,
do it
Marianne.
for sure. And if you have questions, if you want to chat about it, just give me a call. We call our office, and it'll give you a list of extensions. Just call me, and I'd love to just chat with you and tell you all about it.
Another thing is we're pretty active in our Facebook group too. And Marianne, I know when she came back from the Camino, did a nice post of things you learned on the Camino trail that I thought was really fun and informative as well. So I know that any of our employees that have been anywhere will jump at the opportunity to talk to you about it. So definitely reach out to ask questions.
Number one was it was harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, we think it's all flat. It's like, wait a second. But you'll surprise yourself.
Yeah.
And then Vicky's, she said, I know it can be different amounts of days depending on where you start.
So. Oh, for sure. We did a 10-day trek, but it can be anywhere from 30 days if you do the French way, coming like through the mountains. And I think the shortest one from there's a minimum length that you have to do to kind of qualify to get your certificate, but I think the shortest one's like a 5-night 6-day trek.
These will be a little shorter than that.
Yes,
they're short getaways.
Going into short getaways.
These are about like a weekend kind of.
Yeah, usually around 4 nights. It depends on the destination. So you could say anywhere from 3 nights to 5 nights would qualify as a short getaway. They are an excellent opportunity if you've never traveled with us and you maybe don't want to start with a big international trip, you're a little unsure. You can do one of the short getaways within North America, pretty easy to get to. A little less expensive because it's a shorter duration, and it will give you kind of a taste for how the trip will go. Right now we have a great selection. We have New York for the holiday season, so taking advantage of like the big Christmas tree, the Rockettes, different kind of Christmas themed shows, the Christmas markets in Central Park, things like that. There is a Quebec City winter getaway, which also goes to the Ice Hotel. You stay at the Chateau Frontenac, that big kind of castle-y hotel up on the hill. You get a taste of a lot of the Canadian cuisine. It's a beautiful time to experience Quebec City, and Quebec City is very much like a taste of Europe within Canada. It's got the old cobblestone streets, a lot of stone. It really feels European.
We've done Quebec a few times, I think.
Yeah, we've done this a few times. Yeah,
I think every time we've posted about it online, I always have a member that'll comment saying, "This was my favorite." And I think it surprises you because, like you said, it's in Canada, and it's but it's got that European cobblestoney destination vibe to it. So it's great, like you said, a great introduction to traveling with us and traveling in general. If you've never done much travel, before, it's a great first bite of the
cake. Exactly. And then if you do want to venture a little farther out, we have a Paris getaway, which when we first did it, we always did it in conjunction with other tours that were going on, because I thought, who's going to go to Paris for a weekend? And we couldn't believe the number of people that booked just to go to Paris for like 4 nights and experience Paris. So now it's kind of become a staple. Great opportunity. It goes out to Versailles. You see Monet's garden. You see dinner on cruise on the Seine.
Yeah.
You go up the Eiffel Tower. It's everything that iconic kind of Paris tour would include. Um, and then we have a Yukon winter getaway, which is a good opportunity to see the Northern Lights if that's something that would interest you. So going up to Yukon in Canada, it's got a great selection of activities, some outdoor activities. It's going to be cold. Dress up.
One of those tours that kind of
But
layers,
yeah, but it is again like just a great kind of Canadian iconic place to see. New Orleans, of course, which has everything New Orleans should.
Big staple for
Nashville,
us.
same thing. Um, Charleston for it's called like country homes or charming homes and gardens.
Southern homes and gardens.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's so it takes you to Charleston right during their home and garden show week, or it's maybe 2 weeks, and they have tours of different homes with all their gardens. It's just a really kind of quaint, pretty tour.
Mhm.
And then Dubai and Abu Dhabi coming up again in 2026, and we've done that one a bunch too. Very popular tour. Beach holidays. Again, this is one that we don't have a ton of, but we do have a nice selection. If you really aren't interested in going to these cold places that we have, like New York and Quebec and the Yukon in the winter, and you're more of the sun and sand type, then definitely we have some beach holidays for you. We do have a Tahiti cruise, which is almost full. There might be a spot or two, depending on what's kind of left in the ship. But we do have that available still this year in 2024. Again, Hawaii, which we mentioned, excellent overview of the Hawaiian Islands. Bali, the St. Lucia trip. So we do have a good selection of warm places that you can go.
And just because it's not a beach, I mean, like, we have Peru next year, and it's
Yeah.
not cold there. I can tell
Yeah.
you that much. So just because you're not getting the white sands and the beach water doesn't mean the rest of our tours are all cold. There's still warm destinations, just different activities, I guess you could say, on those trips.
And then some specialty tours. So these are tours that are going to a destination to experience something. They like real highlight kind of events. These might be more your, bucket list, once in a lifetime kind of things that you may have thought or not even realized that you wanted to experience. So we're going to Mexico for Day of the Dead. And like we do have tours in conjunction with there might be like one or two main events that are kind of very special, and then the rest of the tour incorporates components of that throughout while you're still visiting the area, you're still doing your cooking classes and learning about the destination, but you're also learning about why these kind of where this comes from, what it means. We did also, we're not doing it this year, but I'm sure it'll come back, where we go to Transylvania for Halloween, and we did a Halloween party at Bran Castle. Who can say that they've done that? So that's really kind of cool. We're going to India for Holy Week. So that's where the color throwing, where they do the celebration, they all throw color at each other. We have a Nordic North trip that goes to the Arctic Lapland in Sweden and Finland. I wanted to say Norway, but it
I
wasn't.
was gonna say Sweden and Switzerland. I'm like, wait, that's not at all.
Finland. Which is all about kind of being up in past that Arctic mark and experiencing winter in that type of destination. Again, Northern Lights will be a big thing. A lot of it does involve going out to see the Northern Lights and um, learning about photography of the Northern Lights and things like that. We do stay at the iconic Ice Hotel in Sweden. Um, with one night in the cold room, so that's like one of those ice rooms, and the other 2 nights just in their regular hotel room. Um, we stay at a glass igloo, so that's what this picture is, one of the glass igloos where you can see the northern lights above you while you're sleeping. Um, Doing things like a snowmobile safari and dog sledding and ice fishing. So it's a little bit of an active tour, but really experiencing the Arctic cold. We go to Britain to the Chelsea Flower Show, and also with that, there's like a going to Wales and Cotswolds in there. Our Kenya tour, which is full already for this year and it's coming again till 2026.
Mhm.
But our Kenya tour does have a stay at the very iconic Giraffe Manor, and that's the hotel you see in the pictures where when you're eating breakfast, the giraffes stick their heads in the window and you can feed the giraffes while you're eating, and they're semi-wild giraffes. They're it's a reserve and they're fairly wild, but they've also learned that,
Yeah.
the people are there to feed them because you get a
Yes.
whole bucket of giraffe kibble. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, whatever they eat.
And
Stuff for the giraffes.
they are kind of semi-wild, but
Mhm.
um
Oh, I just have a question here, Marianne, in the chat. Sorry to
sure.
interrupt. From Tamara Nickel. She's asked, what are the group sizes like? Is there a minimum and maximum number? This all sounds amazing, she said. So thank you.
Oh, thanks, Tamara. So the group size typically is between 8 and 16.
Mhm.
Um, some tours will be less depending on logistics. So we might have some safaris that are limited to 7 because that's what fits in the one safari vehicle. And we're just doing one vehicle depending on where it goes or depending on lodge sizes. So sometimes they're smaller than that, or some groups might be capped at 10 for logistical reasons. So sometimes they can be very small. The only time they ever go over 16 is um if we have space on something that already has a lot of other people on it. So that might be a river cruise where we're on already a ship that takes like 120 people and we're only taking up probably 18, 20 people of that. So it might be a little bit bigger than the normal 16. Um, and also sometimes like a rail journey that again, the we're already taking up just a portion of the rail cars. So we might increase our group because the more we can increase it, the more presence that we have. And it does feel a little bit more intimate because it's just us. But we're already with other people in that situation. So typically 8 to 16. Only time it's more is if we're, again, not already private, and sometimes less than 16 can be the cap.
It's a great question, Tamara. Thank you.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Mhm.
Um, and so here we have, again, the snow leopards coming up in 2026 because that's pretty unique experience. We do have Rovos Rail, which is a luxury rail journey that's going through South Africa and Namibia in 2025, and I think we only have 1 or 2 spots left on it. So that if you're interested in that, that's something that you really should get on because that will fill up quickly. Um, and we have a higher end luxury cruise that includes tickets to the Monte Carlo Open tennis tournament. So that's that picture at the bottom. Mhm. feel like I'm gonna lose my voice.
You're doing great.
um, so also, you can look by level of tour. So we have various levels of tours. So when you click on tours, you'll see those signature, classic, essential, bespoke journey, grand journeys. Grand journeys are longer tours. So they're basically two tours that run back to back naturally in the same destination, same area, and you just have the opportunity to join those tours together. You get a little bit of savings if you book them all as one big tour. And sometimes there might be hotels that needed to, like a night out hotel in between, that'll be included in the rate. So it just gives you a little bit of savings if you're booking the whole thing together as one grand journey. So the other ones here are essential tours, which are our budget friendly experiences. So you're going to get everything you need to have an amazing trip. You still get all the great inclusions, still really nice hotels, but some of the it might take out some of the more expensive inclusions. Also, there's no tour host, and this is all done just to get that price a little bit lower to just make a little bit more of a budget friendly tour for those who might need that but still want that great experience, and that private group with just a great group of women. There is no tour host, but there is always a tour guide, tour manager there that will look after everything with you. We're in contact with them, and they're in contact with their head office. So anything that is needed, we're always just very close, a phone call away. Classic tours are mid range. So this is where probably the majority of our tours fall in this category. It's a perfect balance of great hotels, some adventure, lots of included activities. You have a tour host um, with you, and it's kind of everything you need in a tour the classic tours have. The signature tours are going to give you a little step up from that. So you may have a little bit higher end accommodations, a little bit more of a curated experience, and it feels like just a little bit more luxury. It might be a little bit more of an expensive destination too. Sometimes that's what can drive up the price and put it into a signature tours category. And new coming for 2026 is bespoke journeys. So these are going to be kind of those really specialty tours that have unique experiences and are a little bit different. They're going to fall into the bespoke journeys category. So it's could be tours that we kind of already have that we're just moving them into a new category that's just kind of for those really kind of out of the box unique experiences.
What do you mean? We're all out of the box here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Everything goes there. Ooh, the fun page.
Yeah. So, a few ways that you can save a little bit off of tours. One thing is we do offer as tours are released before we have all the final details. So this is usually pretty far out. Right now we have some up in 2026 that fall under this pre-booking category. So we might not have the exact dates yet, and we might not have the exact price yet, but we do know kind of broadly like when we're going to go, what month we're looking at going. We have an itinerary, we have an idea of the hotels we want to use. And if you are interested in it, you can put down your name. It doesn't cost anything, it is free. I get this all the time. It's $100 to pre-book. No, it is free to pre-book. It does not cost you anything to pre-book. You just putting your name down saying this may be something I'm interested in. Then when we get the full details, it you told us you're interested, so that gives us an idea of, look, there's a good amount of interest in this tour, or it might give us an idea that, nobody's pre-booking this. Nobody really wants to do this. So we probably don't need to do it. So it helps us that way. It gives us an idea of who might be interested, who might not. Then when we have all the full details, we send you a message and let you know what, all the details are here and you can have a look and you can decide at that point if you want to book it or not. If you decide you don't want to book it, doesn't matter, don't book it. If you decide you do want to book it and you think, yeah, I really do want to do this, then you can book it and we'll give you $100 off the price of the tour just as a thank you for letting us know and giving us that heads up. Another discount we have is to bring a friend. So if you're booked on a tour and you're at a dinner party and you're telling a bunch of friends and somebody says, I really want to do that too. You say, oh yes, come. And you let us know, Mary Smith is going to book this. She's my friend. And so when she books it, we're going to give you $100 off. Now, if 2 of your friends at that dinner party want to book it, we're going to give you $200 off. And if 3 of your friends want to book it, we're going to give you $300 off. So talk to your friends.
Yeah, we just want to give away money, guys.
$100 for you and $100 for you.
We're like Oprah. But it's about fostering that community feel too, right? Like
exactly.
We want to build your travel tribe. We want to help build other people's, and if you can help us do that, we can help you have more amazing experiences.
Yeah, exactly. And coming for 2026, we're going to introduce an early booking discount for the tours that we're going to announce in 2026. And this will be, good for us in that we get tours booked a little bit quicker instead of people waiting and kind of, oh, well, wait and see. And, when it starts to get full, I'll book it. It helps us get people to fill the tour quickly. But also it'll give you a little bit of a discount for agreeing, when it might be almost 2 years away still. So, but just think, if you've already pre-booked and now you've got your early booking discount, so now you're double dipping and you're getting extra off. So again, something to watch for as the tours are announced. And when you've pre-booked it, you're going to know as soon as they're announced because you'll get that email. So it's not like you even have to go in the website and keep watching to see when it gets open for booking, because you'll get the email to say, hey, come book now. So those are just a few of the promotions to let you know about. And I think my work here is done. So
I'm muted. I don't know why I was muted. I said, look at you hitting that 1 hour mark. That was a great presentation, Marianne. Thank you. If anybody, has any further questions, definitely feel free to utilize the chat. But here's a great look at our tagline: embark on a journey that will change your life. I love that tagline because you guys have changed my life. And I know you've changed others as well.
Yeah. And so, yes, again, that's our website. Have a look, spend some time looking through, reading a bit about the tours, but we're always there. Again, chat with Allie when you're on the website. She loves that. And call us anytime. We're here. And we love to talk to members.
Like we said, it's all about that connection and community feel. And I think that's something that really separates us from, other tour companies or agencies, out there, because like you saw, we have a small employee base, well, small enough comparatively speaking, and we actually take the time to talk to each of you and to get to know you. So I've got Janet Moran's here saying that was great. Thank you. And then Marianne, I'm going to say Petchki. I don't
I think that was,
Yeah. She says, thanks. Looking forward to Greece, Turkey sailing.
Oh, you're going to love that.
That's
everybody that does that trip. Absolutely. The gullet is one of our favorites of the members. And we have members who have done it more than once.
Yeah, that's how we know to keep doing it again. We've got Sylvia Davidson saying thank you, as well as Vicky and Tamara Tamara's ready to book a trip and can't wait to go. So that's awesome. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who came today. I know we got this out on Monday and we've been waiting to do this presentation for a long time. It's always great to have refreshers and to put a face to the name, right? So thank you, Marianne, for sitting down with us.
You.
And I can't wait to have you. I think we've got you coming up next week. We're going to be going into the 2025 tour schedule. That could be next week or the week after. I'll have to triple check on that one. But I do know we have Marianne coming back as another guest in the coming weeks. So if you enjoyed today, definitely mark your calendars and we'll see you soon, hopefully. But I don't see any questions coming through. So with that being said, here I'll give you guys one last look at us. And hello. Karen says, thank you. I'm booked for the Camino trip next fall. Can't wait.
Awesome. Oh, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
I just did it.
Marianne knows for certain she just finished that one.
Yeah.
So I actually signed up to be the tour host for that one, Karen. So hopefully you and I can make a connection. And Vicky, I know you said Camino is a bucket list for you too. So if you have any questions, definitely reach out to Marianne. And if you want to get comfortable, you can reach out to me as well. So yeah, we're always here to talk to you guys. So thank you again for being here. And with that, I guess we'll say goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Allie.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.